Good morning, Jen. Somebody got notifications, I see. Hello. Good morning. It is pouring rain outside. Good morning, Nigel. It is pouring rain outside, and I just had a gigantic breakfast, so I gotta kind of, I guess, talk it off with you guys and kill some time. Good to see you, Griff. Welcome. We're here in I am here in an atrium inside of 60 Wall Street, next door to 80 Wall Street. Good to see you, Sam. Good morning. Crazy Coney Island kid, good morning. Wilb's driving the Northern Line, good morning. Nice to see your face too. No, obviously it's pouring rain here in New York. I don't know why they had me come into work today, but whatever. Good to see you, Jim. Good morning. I'm assuming Luna Park will have a late opening this morning. You love the rain, yeah. I'm getting paid right now, so I can't complain. But I'm tired, man. I didn't get home from Coney Island until like 2 in the morning. I didn't have a hangover. No. 11 a.m. We're gonna really be open at 11. They gotta open up in 19 minutes. It's gonna be raining until 2. Oh, marching band. Oh, okay. Pouring out there. Crazy, right? A lot of rain out in the across the country this week. It's gonna rain here in New York until around 2 o'clock. So if any people want to come on the noon tour, not the best weather, but I might have some people come out. I hope not. I hope I get to go home early. Did I watch The Sheep? I didn't see. Oh, that movie you sent me. No, I have not. Yes, you sent me a link. You sent me a link to something. Really, London is basking in the sunshine. Yeah, people waking up like, what is that big ball of fire in the sky? Good to see you, Susie May. Good morning. So I just had a big breakfast at the Pearl Street Diner. Had some blueberry pancakes with coffee and sausage. And I will see you tonight, Jim. There's so much going on tonight. We're going to have, on the live stream tonight, we're going to have the one, well, I think tonight and tomorrow night, we're going to have Xander Lovecraft. He was on Seven Little Johnsons, and we're going to talk about the hypocrisy of that show. Going to get a haircut, and the brewery is next door. Nice. So you grab yourself a haircut and then get yourself a beer. Nice. Oh. And at the Freak Bar, there's a new game. I didn't even know Tapper existed until last night. You might drink. I might day drink. Nice. Yeah, the tweets with Boozy were a lot of fun. Absolutely. It's fun having Boozy Burger Bell in the States. Him and Mrs. Boozy in the States. Good to see you, boss. Good morning. I didn't even know about Tapper until last night. I'm like, what is this game? And it's a good Tapper. It's not the generic root beer Tapper. It's the actual Budweiser Tapper. So I'm already trying to get some Tapper tournaments at the Freak Bar. You wish one day you could day drink and then you have to go, oh no, yeah. I mean, I don't like day drinking and go drink day drinking and go to work. It's not good. Had so much, it looks like you had a lot of fun. Pretty good graphics for 1983. I'll tell you that much right now. Really good graphics for 1983. And there's already some crazy high scores on it already. After last night's Music of Curiosities, we had some players come into the room and or into the bar, and day drinking will get you. Me too. You play Tapper. The more you drink. That makes sense. You're slinging them, you're grabbing them, and I know some new techniques now. I didn't know you could press up and then the player resets to the other end of the bar, and then you could do a half pour. Like when I saw somebody doing a half pour, and then they'll pour, then they'll spin it out. Getting to New York later on this year for sure. Let me know. Yeah, let me know, Nigel. Let me know. Let me know, please. All the Periscope people are blocking me now. Is it a new thing? Oh, let's talk about this. Since we're here talking, it's raining outside. It's crap. I'm all alone here with palm trees. Let's talk about this. Random people from Periscope have been now blocking me on Twitter. Don't know why. I think they're scared of me now all of a sudden. But a bunch of people have blocked me in the last 2 weeks. And I'm like, y'all never come on my broadcast anyway, so I don't care. So I find it really funny and a bit petty that these people are blocking me. I don't know what what's triggering this. I have no idea, but I find it funny because the one thing that links them all is they're from Periscope. So let's talk about this now. Don't get me started, Sam. Don't get me started. But so like I said last night, haters gotta hate. I was given privy to an internal corporate video that was made. Absolutely, Nigel. And by the way, I may be able to release this video in a month, so you may see this video on this very YouTube channel. And it's basically a couple of independent researchers working with a couple of advertising companies. One of the advertising companies you may have remembered me mentioning a couple of months back about the whole what is considered a view over there on Twitter Live, and it's a 15-minute video, very slickly produced. I was shocked when I saw it because what they did was they actually showed you what constitutes a view. And what's kind of funny is that some of the things that Facebook got called out for early on with their live streaming abilities over there, which they've cleaned up in time recently. It seems like Twitter doesn't seem to care about that. I think so too, Wilbs. So here's what's going on. And I could tell you this much. And I'm going to go into detail more about this in probably a month when the video gets released. But they figured out how to determine how much space is on your phone, right? And they put like inches and feet to it, right? And you know when you swipe, right? When you're swiping through your timeline on Twitter, so they've determined a certain kind of flick of the finger, and it determined a certain amount of space, right? So what they found out, and in the video, by the way, this video proves it. It's scary. They created Periscope accounts just to prove these points. So all this stuff is demonstrated, and then they get into the analytics of it. Well, the analytics that Periscope gives their audience, and because Full Scope is no more, and Egg Drop is no more. But they go into depth about what constitutes a view. So here's what it is. Here's what it is, guys. So you could have a good chunk of your Twitter feed, right? And as we all know, you swipe through your Twitter feed. A lot of it's below. You can't see it, right? Well, let's say you're following somebody, or somebody who you're following shares out somebody's broadcast on Twitter Live. It does not have to be on your screen for it to register as a view. This is how they get the high numbers. So if a person has a good Twitter following, somewhat engaged Twitter following, maybe about a third of that audience actually may scroll past it and actually see the video. Now, whether they click into that video and tap into it is a whole other story. Good morning, Dave. But what's happening is that videos that are in your timeline that you cannot see are being registered as a view, and they can't handle it, Wills. Nobody wants me to talk about this stuff, and I'm going to continue to talk about this stuff because at least here on YouTube, I have been given a straight answer on what a view is. It's all lies. It's all lies. It's all shadows and puppetry. And so what they did was, to prove this, what they did was they created some Periscope accounts, and what they do is they'll log into their Twitter, and then you'll see the number jump. And then what they found out was, okay, now you scroll away and the video is not on the screen. Well, it's in your timeline somewhere. It's still considered a view. It's even still considered watch time, which is crazy. How can something be considered watch time when you're not even watching it? It's on your feed. Now, here's where it gets really shady. Some of you guys have private Twitter accounts, or maybe the person broadcasting has a private Twitter account. Now, if you know how some people reply to a Periscope video, so you're replying to it, so you have the video showing up twice in the feed. Well, guess what? When you reply to a Periscope video with the Periscope link, it counts as 2 views. Good morning, Blondie. It counts as 2 views. So when you reply, if you just retweet it, right? It's still 1 view. But when you reply to the video as the video, so you see the video twice in your feed, that is considered 2 views. Even though you're only one Twitter account actually viewing it. And then they go into it, and they go deep into it. They talk about some influencers in the video. Some of them, the very face of Periscope. And they actually show some of our friends in the video. I'm not privy to tell you who they show in the video just yet, but you're going to see it. There's 2 people in particular who you guys know. We all know. They're friends of the family. And I want to contact them and tell them, hey, listen, I watched this video and you're in it. But these people love Periscope, so I don't want to burst their bubbles. I don't want to destroy their world, because it's going to be like when this video comes out in a month. And when this video comes out, it's going to be accompanied by a bunch of major corporations basically saying that we're not going to invest too much more into Twitter. And ironically, here I am saying this on Wall Street. It's gonna shake up Twitter, and the people over there are gonna have to really explain themselves, and more importantly, clean up their act. So I'm telling you, Wilbs, remember, like I always say, it's the 1% rule. The 1% rule is if you have 100 people watching your broadcast, at least one person will follow you. If not on that very account, they're going to follow you in other places, especially like your Twitter. Exactly. Views. Aren't the views great? That's right. It's funny. It's funny, Dave. It's really funny. And what's going to happen in the end is people are going to be kind of shocked about how it comes out. And, again, why are people willing to spend money on independent researchers and mathematicians and stuff like that, and algorithmic people? Well, the mathematicians do the algorithms, but anyway. Why are they doing this? It's because there is so much money involved. You have companies spending upwards of $100,000 for a single tweet. Now, popularity. Now, here's something that I can say in detail, which is really funny. As some of you may know, I still have access to the VIP Slack group for Periscope. And somebody commented in there recently, or this week, they commented that they were on a travel channel or something like that, and that they were getting view bots to boost their numbers. And the person was scared that because they had view bots on their broadcast, they think they're at a higher probability to be kicked off Periscope. And then they said, can you please help this problem? Can we get rid of the bots? I do know a few of these people. It really was, Nigel. Yeah, I'm very chatty, yes. I'm full of coffee. I'm full of coffee, right up to here. and pancakes. And it's such a dreary day outside. All I want to do is just curl up in a ball and go back to bed. Good morning, Winky. Good morning. But yeah, there's a lot of money involved in this. It's scary. People like another, I'll give you another example. Eggs and toast there, nice. So Fox Sports having problems connecting. I'm so sorry, Winky. Fox Sports did a Periscope live stream, and I did have a tour planned for this morning, but obviously it's pouring rain outside right now. So yeah. So luckily nobody showed up. It's gonna rain for my whole window of time. So I don't know if people show up. But So you're supposed to have a couple of things to do, take care of it. You can go get a haircut and have a beer. So Fox Sports did a live Periscope video, a Twitter live video during. He almost made it to 3:30. They made they made a Twitter live video, right? And they were on the sports channel, and they were on something else. They were on some kind of other channel on Periscope. And what was happening was that their live viewer concurrent number was no less than 1,500 people. It was bouncing between like 1,600 all the way up to like 2,600. And Nigel, that was the whole point of the radio show. Was to see how many bots we block in the end, but that's probably the reason why they kicked me off of Periscope to begin with. But anyway, Fox Sports did this pretty big broadcast, and it was very well produced. They were in a studio, and here they are. They're talking about the Super Bowl, right? They're not showing the Super Bowl, but they're talking about it. So you could watch the Super Bowl on your local Fox affiliate, and then you could watch on Periscope or Twitter Live, and you could hear these analysis people give their analysis. And I'll see you later, Jen. And what ended up happening was that here you have a broadcast with supposedly over 2,000 people, and 4 people were commenting. Four people were commenting. Now you would think that with a broadcast with over 2,000 people, you think... Okay.
Your attention, please. Your attention, please. This is your Fire and Life Safety Director. Testing has been completed on the building's safety equipment. Your attention, please. Your attention, please. This is your Fire and Life Safety Director. Testing has been completed on the building's safety equipment. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you, Uptip. Yes, the Periscope police have crumbled me. Rumbled me? Yes, they're rumbling me right now. So good to see you, 80s music fan. Can't stop the rain. But yes, if you have a broadcast with over 2,000 people in it, you think more than 4 people will comment. And what happened was, well, Fox Sports sent an email to Twitter, and Twitter kind of brushed them off. They were like kind of like, eh. So this is why there's independent analysis being made and videos being made about this, and it's crazy. And the reason why I'm involved is because, like I said, I'm involved with one of the advertising companies that's kind of good. They're trying to figure out how to bring this to light, and it's scary, folks. There's so much money involved. There's jobs on the line, and more importantly, there is perceived influence to be exposed. And it's funny. But anyway, so there's that topic this morning. I'm so stuffed. Music of Curiosities was so much fun last night. Check the replay of last night's show. Good to see you, Miss Jan. It was so much fun last night. I forgot to Instagram out. I actually had a cookie tongue cookie. Quality over quantity. Exactly, Dave. Nebul, bienvenue. Everyone follow Nebul, because he did some beautiful broadcasts today. Just finished watching the replay. Nice. Awesome. That was a good show last night. Let me not think about beer, but it's still only 11 in the morning. It was good. Yeah. A couple of those songs really took you on, like, especially like some of the Cookie Tongue songs were like, they really took you on like a journey. And, the audience was captivated, to say the least. But they actually had tongue-shaped rainbow cookies, and I took a picture of one, so I got to post it on my Instagram. But I actually had a Cookie Tongue cookie, and Cookie Tongue's coming to to New Orleans. So check out their web and check out their Kickstarter. I did have a pre-beer event too. Yes, I did. I don't know how to make Moroccan mint tea, but I could buy it in my neighborhood. I could walk about 5 minutes from my house and get some really good Moroccan tea. It was an amazing show last night. So go to Music Curiosities. Check out the replay from last night's show. Next month's show is gonna be crazy. The tour begins. Wish them luck. Yes, exactly. Their tour begins. Yes, I will wish them luck. Well, they hopefully watch. They might watch this. We're all friends now. And if you wanted to know what does Cookie Tongue do when they're not playing music, they're teachers. I think they're middle school teachers. Oh, so everyone watched Nabul's broadcast. I'm gonna have to watch that now. Of how to make Moroccan mint tea. Ooh, that sounds good. Even though I'm stuffed right now. I'm stuffed. A very smart crew indeed. I'm convinced that those two are like doing like because if you listen to the music, it's kind of like it's really kid friendly, but you know they're doing like mental things to kind of keep your attention, or they're doing weird stuff which I like because they're messing with my brain, and all they're doing is really entertaining. But yes, Cookie Tongue put on a crazy performance. They were cleaning up that glitter for a while last night. That's why I didn't get out of the Freak Bar until I think 1:30 in the morning. So, and luckily my cab was right outside. I think they do, right? Yeah, they're doing something mental. They're doing something mental, and you know. But they're on their way to New Orleans. I did get some sleep. I got about 4 hours sleep. I got about 4 hours of sleep. So that means I'm going to go home, take a nap, and... Oh, yes, it does. We do have 15 people watching, Jim. Good to see you. They send you to sleep in a fantastic way. Nice. Absolutely, Dave. Absolutely, Dave. It really is a pleasure and a treat to bring you guys this amazing music. You got to go out for beers later on tonight. Nice. Tonight, I'll be having beers later on tonight myself. We have our Reefer Madness showing. In colorized version of Reefer Madness will be shown tonight at Coney Island, USA, 1208 Surf Avenue. In the heart of Coney Island. Yes. So we're going to have Xander Lovecraft on the show. We're going to do a little talk show tonight, I think, me and Xander. It's going to be me and Xander tonight and tomorrow night after the Freak Show. So think around maybe 10, 11 o'clock, maybe later. Exactly. 15 real people, not 150 non-real people. That's right, Jim. That's right, Jim. That's why I got kicked off of Periscope. It's all the hypocrisies. And also, I'm still blacklisted on, or shadow banned. I'm shadow banned on Twitter. Only about a third of you guys actually see the posts I post. So I know you're not a bot because you're typing that. And you didn't use an emoji after. You didn't use like a kissy face emoji or the lips emoji or the sexy time emoji. No sexy time emoji. But even though the copy bots say they stopped doing that now, but they're still around. There you go. There's a kissy face emoji. And you're supposed to put the lips with it. It's supposed to be the kissy face with the lips. And you're supposed to say it weird, unopportune times like, wow, and love that. And like, I could be literally explaining something about like the hydrogen bomb, and then somebody will say, love that. And it's like, that's a bot. Oh, I hear that, Nigel. It's all good, man. It's all good. No, we're going to have a good conversation with Xander Lovecraft tonight about what it's like to be physically handicapped and what that entails to the freak show community and sideshow community and reality TV. It's going to be a funny conversation. I'll see you later. Nibble. Have a great day. Don't forget the eggplant, folks. Don't forget the eggplant. Everyone follow Nibble. He shows you how to make Moroccan mint tea on his live stream today. And he once again proves that, see, you don't need 1,000 subscribers to go live here on YouTube. Just use the Streamlabs app and you'll be good to go. There you go. Yes. The eggplant with the kissy face with the lips emoji. I gotta watch Nate Bulls replay. I'll probably watch it on the subway train coming home. I figured out how to watch YouTube videos on the subway coming home. I make sure thank you so much, guys. Deanna, good morning. You headed for brunch? Are we doing a beer run tonight? No, even better, Deanna. Deanna, tonight we're going to have a conversation with Xander Lovecraft, and we're going to talk about what it's like to be a person with physical disabilities here in the United States. And we're going to talk about how that plays into Sideshow and reality TV, because he was on a reality show called Seven Little Johnsons. And thank you so much, guys. And so here's my take. There you go, Nigel. There you go, Nigel. Nigel's a bot. Have a great holiday there, Blondie. Have a great day. So here's what's up. Xander Lovecraft, who will be performing tonight and tomorrow night and pretty much the whole season here at Coney Island, USA. Some of you may have seen him. If not, you'll see him tonight. And they're all back in town, Dave. And they're not all back yet. We're still waiting for Insectivora to come back. There's some this year's lineup, by the way, on the Sideshow it's a kick-ass lineup this year. Good to see you, Pat. Xander was on the show Seven Little Johnsons, and they did an episode where the Seven Little Johnsons, who live in the middle of, I think it's Georgia or Texas, it's going to be a pretty interesting evening. It's going to be a good conversation this evening, I think, that we're going to try to have tonight and tomorrow, because I think considering what Freaks and Dragons is coming up soon, it may not be Dungeons and Dragons, but it is going to be, we're still going to play board games. So stay tuned. So Xander was on this show. This family comes up here to New York and visits Coney Island in the middle of December when nothing is open. And so they went to go, they're in their 6th season. So I didn't know about this show until this week either, but they've been around for a while. It's about a mixed family where everyone has would you consider it dwarfism? Or I want to be respectful, but the family, especially the mother, was very judgmental about Xander and about his listen, even though he's sticking a nail in his head through his nose, it's still a craft, it's still an art. And so they really looked down on him and pitied him for his art and for his craft. And they kind of felt bad for him. Meanwhile, in my opinion, it was my first time watching this Seven Little Johnsons show. If anything, Xander was the only one who looked comfortable being himself. The whole family, the children, it was all about, oh yeah, I'm 4'1", and everything. And then it didn't help that the background music kind of exaggerated their being short. It's a TLC show. Check out the last episode because you get to see the one and only, the mayor of Coney Island, more than just a historian. The mayor of Coney Island, Mr. Dick Ziggin, shows them and gives them a little bit of the history about short people or short people in Coney Island. She talks about Lilliputian, which was literally a whole city created in 1/3 scale or 2/3 scale, and that was in Dreamland. And he talked about that, but then you saw Xander perform, and they were like, the music building up to Xander's performance was like, ooh, it's scary, it's the Sideshow. And I think personally, here they are talking about they don't like how people are, and nobody likes to be exploited. This is 2019, nobody should be exploited. But the way they talk about how Xander does his show, it was kind of like, we feel bad for him because he's being exploited, and I will counteract that, and Xander will counteract that by saying, no, he is not being exploited. If anything, he's he's living his dream. He's living, Nigel, it's so crazy because here's his family on this show, and like the music is like, it's like, ooh, look at the little people walking around New York City, and that was the other thing. The other funny thing was that here they were coming to New York, and exactly, he wants to do it, and he takes being called a freak, he takes it as a badge of honor, and they don't like that term, and guess what, folks, you can't sweep 100 years history under the rug, okay? You can't do that. Sorry. Good to see you, John. You can't do that. You can't just sweep history and art and all that stuff under the rug. And that's what it seemed like the family wanted to do. But if anything, the family was perpetuating because the family was being exploited by the producers of the TLC show, in my opinion, by the way they framed and shot everything. But the family was very reluctant on coming out here to New York because it's a big city. But then the first thing they say is, we love walking around here because nobody stares at them. And of course, we don't stare at people around here. There's 8.5 million of us and another 62 million tourists. So your friend went to high school with Matt Roloff. Really? Oh. This is like a whole genre. It's a whole genre of little people shows. But I just found it so funny that the family was so, that they were just judgmental, and they kind of they pitied Xander, and that wasn't cool because he was happy being who he is happy being who he is, and he's proud of what he does at the sideshow, at the freak show, whatever you want to call it. Good to see you, Tracy. Good morning. You love Matt Rowe, also watch Little Women, Strong and Independent? Nice. You can come to the freak bar as you are, that's right. Come as you are. Where's my Kurt Cobain? My Kurt Cobain. We got another half hour before I gotta start walking back to the office. Let's see if anyone's gonna come on the 12 noon tour. Don't come on the 12 noon tour. It's still raining. Even though I'm getting paid right now, it's still raining. I want to go home. Take a nap, right? And then go into Coney Island a little bit later on tonight. Watch the colorized version of Reefer Madness. What am I doing for Easter? I'll be in Coney Island. I'll be in Coney Island tomorrow. We're gonna try to get a ride. I'm seeing who's working on the Cyclone right now. And I rode the Cyclone for the first time this year yesterday. Only rode it once. I'm trying to feel out who's working where and when I could do what. Yeah, LP, you're torn. However, you respect his choice to do it. And he's believe me, we're going to have a conversation with him tonight, Tracy. He'll be here on the YouTube tonight and tomorrow night. And we're going to talk about this because he said, like, he wants to do this. Xander wants to do a live stream with me tonight to talk about this stuff, because I think a lot of people don't really necessarily talk about this stuff. So yeah, we're going to celebrate 420, so come on down to 1208 Surf Avenue. We're going to play a colorized version of Reefer Madness and maybe some other things. So come on out. I think it's only like $5 or something like that. And hopefully the rides will be open for I can maybe get a little ride in before I start. Yeah, it's going to be, Tracy, it's going to be really cool. He wants to do some live streams. It's this weekend is leading into, like, this is Easter weekend, but then next weekend is going to be even better because next weekend is Super Freak Weekend. So you want to follow Coney Island USA on their Facebook page because I will be doing a live stream over there for the Congress of Curious People's Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And it's going to be really wild. You're in California. Awesome. Oh, John, that's right, yes. But, yeah, we got some fun live streams coming up. It's to celebrate marijuana, all things marijuana. It's to celebrate the counterculture, even though it's still illegal in this state. Used to celebrate 420 every day before it existed. Yeah, a lot of people did. I think a lot of people did, right? I'll put, just put a flower in if you're going to San Francisco. Make sure you wear some flowers in your hair. Your daughter and your husband are at the Nice. There's a 420 festival in Atlanta. Wow. Are they gonna go to the World of Sid and Marty Krofft? Are they gonna go? Are we going to the Omni Hotel and we're gonna go to the World of Sid and Marty Krofft? You're gonna be doing live streams POV. Ooh. Okay, Tracy. I'm down with that. Give us a little perspective. Yeah, 420, yeah. There he is, folks. The one, the only. When do you sleep, Ron? The one, the only Duty Ron. If you're not following Duty Ron already, follow Duty Ron. We gotta get Duty Ron to 10,000 subscribers. So good. Duty Ron's in the house. I could talk to him about there. Staying in an Airbnb, widespread panic, bro. Okay. So Duty Ron, there are a couple of YouTubers who are having a meetup next month, and one of these YouTubers made a video called "Everything You Need to Know About Coney Island." I shared it on my Twitter, and Sid and Marty Krofft. Wait, I'll come back to that in a second. But so there's this guy. He has over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And he makes this video called "Everything You Need to Know About Coney Island," and everything is closed. He goes there on like a cold winter morning on a weekday, so nothing's open. And he kind of glosses over Coney Island, like, this place is okay. Like, there's Nathan's, and yes, and Coney Cones is famous. Coney Cones is not famous. He doesn't talk about the Wonder Wheel. He doesn't talk about the cyclone. He talks about the beach, talks about the boardwalk. No history, not even the parachute jump. It's kind of like, as one person said in his comments, if you got to go to somewhere like Coney Island that has a lot of history, you got to do more than just Google search and then make a video about it, because it's not everything you need to know about Coney Island. If anything, it's just glossing over a bunch of stuff. So, Duty Run, it might be fun for you and me and to get together and let's meet this guy and talk to this guy, because, like I keep on saying. Me, Duty Ron, Joey Brooklyn. Joey Brooklyn did a beautiful broadcast last night, by the way, with the whole procession last night. That was absolutely gorgeous. Not a lot of people are doing live streaming here on YouTube here in New York City. There's maybe a handful of people, and nobody does like regular streams. I know I'm the only one in Coney Island who's there pretty much every week. It's exactly. It's a beach with rides, huh? Not exactly, Tracy. He kind of just glossed over the whole thing. Joey's broadcast last night, I saw that this morning. It was gorgeous. That is a side of Brooklyn that not a lot of people get to see. That is a side of Brooklyn that not a lot of people get to see, and it's a beautiful thing. And this is the power of the live stream. And there you go. Everyone follow Joey Brooklyn. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers. Not a lot of people are doing what we're doing here in New York. Not a lot of people, especially live streaming. When it comes to vlogging, I notice that the people who vlog, for the most part, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but for the most part, they're not from here. You're not a native New Yorker if you lived here for 2 years. In my personal opinion, you have to live here at least 5 years before you can call yourself a native New Yorker. You're not a local if you've been here for 2 months. No, if you're here for only 2 months, you're not a local. You're still. In my opinion, you're like a tourist who stayed a really long time. Church is in session. Duty Ron. Absolutely. Happy Easter, everyone. And it's right, Holy Saturday, right? It's Holy Saturday. But you listen. The reason why I say you gotta live here in New York at least 5 years, it's because in 5 years you will experience everything New York has to dish out. Like, yes, it sucks having to put on your game face when you go outside all the time, and yes, you're always around people. Sometimes you want to be alone, and there are places where you can be alone, but You need to be here for a snowstorm that shuts down the city. You need to be here when the transit goes on strike. You need to be here when when stuff breaks down. That's when you show your true colors as a New Yorker. So, and you have people like Casey Neistat, who they've always idolized New York. They looked at it like this big kind of place, and Casey loves New York, but even he's saying, in a few years he's going to probably move away because he has a young daughter he wants to take care of. And exactly, unless you were born there and move away at an early age, exactly. Absolutely, Sam, absolutely. But I'm kind of wanting to meet these other YouTubers and let them get a take on what I think. Especially when you make a video titled "Everything You Need to Know About Coney Island," and it's just kind of like glossing over it, like, "Oh, that's the freak show there, and they have freaks in there," and it's like, no. Have you ever heard of the Mermaid Parade? Have you ever? There's so much, right? 2 blackouts in 7. No, we had a blackout in 1964. Then there was another blackout in 1977, and then our last major blackout was in 2003. Yeah, Tracy, I'm going to be doing that. Next week we're going to the Botanical Gardens. So you're going to see a lot of quiet places in all these different Botanical Gardens. And exactly, New Yorkers pitch in when the chips are down. Exactly. Oh, you lived during the Giuliani years? That's when the city got cleaned up. The Giuliani years. And happy birthday, Duty Run. Absolutely. I forgot about that. Happy birthday, Duty Run. Hopefully you had a great birthday. You was there for the last 2? Nice. Yes, you keep getting new female followers who within minutes are following you back, trying to get your phone number. And I used to get that, Nigel, not anymore. Have you ever heard of Jim Rose Freak Show? No, I have not, Winky. No, I have not. Yeah, Quiet Places and Flowers. Yeah, see, you're all in good. Yeah, next week we're going to hit up all the Botanical Gardens. And we're going to hit up the New York Botanical Garden in the Bronx. We're going to go to the Botanical Garden I've never been to, which is out in Queens. And I do garbage strike, right? When I think of the garbage strike and Mayor Lindsay, I think of the original movie, The Out-of-Towners. That's what I think of. That dirty, scary New York City that has protests everywhere and that kind of. I mean, we actually just hit this week. This week is the 20th anniversary of Disney on Broadway. 20 years ago, The Lion King opens up in a newly refurbished New Amsterdam theater. And the whole renaissance of Times Square begins 20 years ago. And I remember that to a T. I don't know if some of you guys remember this, but when they were fixing up Times Square, they moved one of the stages all the way over. I could see you there. I could see you there, Duty Ron. I could see you. I could see you, man. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, and stay dry and drive safe in this crazy weather today. Yeah, the original Out-of-Towners movie is the real one, not the new one. Who was in the new one? I even forgot who's in the new one. The original one, when New York was scary, and Mayor Lindsay, New York, and why you guys driving around? Yeah, happy birthday, happy Easter. So I'm going to show everyone yeah, it's closed down there. Yeah.
Wall Street, okay.
I'm gonna tell you guys something about
Yeah, you said you're gonna go to one on Wall Street.
Okay.
look at this. So we have here an exit. This is an exit only to the 2-3 subway station at Wall Street. And you see the red globes at the top? The red globes mean that is an exit only and not an entrance. So if you want to know if it's an entrance or an exit, the red globes mean it's an exit only, and the green globes means that it's an entrance. So look for the green globes whenever you're looking for a subway station entrance. So the entire time I've been doing this live stream, there have been people walking down the stairs and coming back up. all tourists. You first moved to New York City in '96, and you remember before Giuliani was here in '96. Giuliani became mayor in '94, and before then it was Mayor Dinkins. That's common knowledge there, John. It's common knowledge. And the other thing is read the signs when above the entrance there, because they'll tell you if it's an exit only also. So slow down, read. Slow down and read. So I'll give you guys a couple of tips if you're visiting New York. One, don't overschedule your stay. Give yourself some time to do absolutely nothing. One of the best things you could do here in New York is sit on a park bench in Bryant Park, on the High Line, in Central Park, in Prospect Park, on the Brooklyn Promenade, anywhere. You sit down on a bench, you grab yourself a coffee, and you people watch. That has to be one of the best things you could do in this city, and it's absolutely free. And exactly, read and follow instructions and watch people. You remember you was from Hicksville, so you was an out-towner. Well, Hicksville, Long Island. You're close enough, John. You're close enough. Any park, Washington Square Park. Don't overschedule yourself. Give yourself some time to do nothing, especially if you're coming from like Australia or somewhere where the time difference is really big. Give yourself some time to literally sit around and do nothing. And if you are coming from the other side of the earth and you're traveling some 22, 25 hours to get here, what I also recommend you do is to get over your jet lag, watch a sunset. Even regardless of how tired you are, watch a sunset. And that will trick your brain a little bit quicker into getting used to the times change here. And South Street Seaport, another great spot to watch people. You can watch people and seagulls in the South Street Seaport. And there are a couple of really good coffee places and restaurants in the South Street Seaport. Fresh Salt, the Cobblestone. There's a bar that Boozy Burger Bell goes to all the time, and I'm blanking on the name. Starts with a V. Is it Vport? It's a really good bar he goes to all the time. Anyway, when he comes here to New York. But yeah, give yourself some time to do nothing here in New York. I know there's a lot to do. You want to do Statue of Liberty, you want to do Empire State Building, you want to do Top of the Rock and all that. Do nothing. Give yourself to do nothing, especially if you're jet lagged. So that's one of my main pro tips for you right there. And with binoculars, you can see, exactly, with binoculars you can see me on the Brooklyn Bridge, yes. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So like when John Roebling looked out, onto the bridge, so that's the thing, another thing about, what I do is, being a tour guide, right, and meeting people from around the world. What I realize is that people, for the most part, they have only seen New York City not by water taxi, by NYC ferry. NYC ferry takes you out to the Rockaways, not water taxi. Water taxi is just a tour around the harbor. But yes, take the ferry down to the Rockaways. And we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing that when it gets a little bit warmer. You love the giant kite? Oh yeah, that's right, it's still there. I gotta buy myself a giant kite. That will be a good YouTube video. That will be a good video. Circle Line goes around Manhattan Island, of course. Circle Line, a classic. I'm trying to get a job on the Circle Line. So if you know anybody who works at the Circle Line, that's my ultimate job, is to work on the Circle Line or water taxi. Those are my ultimate jobs. I have done a tour on the water taxi because a guide wasn't available. So I did do a morning run on the water taxi when I was doing my own bicycle tour. And the captive audience just gave me tip money. It was crazy. I made, what was it again? I made $38 in not even 15 minutes. Because all I did was talk about the Statue of Liberty, and I told them about, as we were approaching it, and how we take pictures, and then we took some pictures, and... But you hear that water taxi? I know people, and the guys who work on water taxi and Circle Line, they never leave because it's such a great job. Radio City Music Hall, people watching in Rockefeller Center is always a good thing. I would be. No, I know I would be. It's easier than what I do now. Like those tours on a boat are easier than what I do now because that's really just talking and being entertaining and speaking clearly. People say, "Oh, why don't you have a New York or a Brooklyn accent?" And I'm like, well, over the years working with tourists for the last 8 years, I have learned to speak as clearly as possible. When people ask me to talk slow, sometimes I sound like a robot. And it's John, even on my bicycle tour, it's very repetitive. So, when you came from England, it was 4 a.m. He was ready to go to Heathrow at 3 p.m. when you landed. Whoa. Yeah. Nigel, you should have stayed up. You should have stayed awake. And then when the time came to fall asleep, then you would have crashed out. Subbing my face at Pronto's, yes. Used to work in the Diamond District. Nice. That's the best Jekyll and Hyde, Winky. That's the best Jekyll and Hyde. The one in the Village is the best one. Now, if you sit at the bar, right? If you sit at the bar stools in Jekyll and Hyde, you go in the basement. So it's a fun little thing. Love dreaming about. Yeah, me too. Yeah, you learn. Well, now you know. Let's walk up to my office. Let's see how wet it is outside. All right. Oh, please, nobody come on my tour. Nobody come on my tour, please. Nobody come on the tour. It's a boring, rainy day. You love the bookcase and how... Oh, yeah. If you really got to go pee, that's the most scariest spot to look for a bathroom. I'll see you later, John. Happy Easter, man. Happy Easter, my man. Enjoy it. All right, let's see how it is out here. Did we stop raining? Oh, we stopped raining. Yay, we stopped raining. Who stopped the rain? Ah, yes. Ah, yes. People who think I'm talking to them. A New York tradition. Ooh, it's actually kind of nice out. It's actually kind of nice out here right now. Hey, I could do a bike tour in this. Really? You lived on East 8 between A and B? Wow, that's action. That's Action Jackson over there. All the action. All the action. Now that's like really expensive to live down there, and I hope I don't too. I would love to go home but then again, I did eat pancakes and have a lot of coffee, so maybe a nice long bike ride will do me good. Look at wait, I gotta show you guys the fog and stuff like that. It's like, see, if people do come on a tour, right? So here's the deal, folks. If it's raining, I need to work out. If it's raining or it was raining, you're not gonna get very great views. Today, you will not see the skyline. Today is just one of those days. So we have here, well, now I'm in front of this building right here. This is a residential building. But there was a great year. There was a fantastic year. You may have heard of it. It was 1995. And in 1995, a little movie by the name of Die Hard with a Vengeance came out. And where this apartment building is today, it was an empty lot. And what they did was they created a fake subway station where this building is today, which is kind of funny. A lot of hipsters and interlopers now. Well, a lot of people with money. Let's just say that. A lot of people with money live on Avenue A. Or East 8th and Avenue A. Let me put my umbrella away. Ooh. Got a piece of piece of this tree. I swallowed a piece of that tree. So here, there was a fake subway station made for the movie. And then right here, in front of 28 Liberty, this is actually the headquarters of Chase Manhattan Bank. This is where remember when they were getting rid of the suitcase bombs, when Samuel L. Jackson came back down from Tompkins Square Park, and he had the suitcase bomb on the bicycle, and he gave it to the police officers who were really fake police officers who were speaking German. That happens right here. That happens right here. And then wait. And then so the gold depository is right here. Here's the gold depository, the New York Federal Reserve Bank. And then here, this is where the reporter tells the police detective that he's so full of the S word. And then he goes, "Thank you." And then he turns around and he hears the trucks come from around the corner. And then the trucks come in, and then they get ready to raid the gold vaults. Good to see you, Raging Fox. Welcome. But that all happens literally. The whole movie happens right here. But this is the train station. The guy who wants to take the cab that Samuel L. Jackson is driving, and he wants to go to the office. He's working in the office, like right up here, and he sees the subway station get blown up. And then of course, our villain of the story, Jeremy Irons, he says hook, line, and sinker right there when the trucks come in. When the big, massive garbage trucks come in. And it was on TV last night, so I got to watch it the other night. That long day when I did 3 tours. And it was the perfect treat to watch. I must have watched it. My wife hates that movie because I watch it so often. And of course, I'm saying lines in the movie half of the time, too. But this is why I like working downtown. Good to see you, Cecilia. Happy 420. If you celebrate such things. Some people find 420 very offensive, you know? It's like, my goodness, they're keeping to themselves and giggling. How dare they? They're keeping to themselves and giggling. Good morning, Maureen. Good morning. Going back to work. Let's see if anyone wants to come on a tour. At least it stopped raining. Right? Think about it every day. I hear that. It's so offensive. These people being quiet, giggling, eating Frito-Lays and Twinkies. How dare they? It did rain a lot this morning. We have monsoons this morning. We had monsoon when I got to work. So nobody came, mercifully, nobody came on the morning tour. But now it's getting really humid. The rain has stopped. And yeah, I could do a tour in this, but it's a little bit like Soupy Sales out here. A little bit like Soupy Sales. Go in mommy and daddy's jacket. You see that little paper they have in your jacket, little green paper. Take it out with a number 1 or a number 20. Oh, really? Really, Tracy? That's crazy. That's the new economy for you. That's the new economy, I guess. Yeah, the cook. That's the other funny thing. Have you noticed that they're reporting on people ODing on edibles nowadays? It's like, don't eat the whole cookie, don't eat the whole brownie at once. You got to take your time on that. One person. I'm gonna have one person from the Netherlands waiting. That's how it always works on the tour. That's how it always works. But they're gonna listen. If they're from the Netherlands, I'll be good. That means they know how to ride a bike. So that will be good. What I don't want is, Sigmund the Sea Monster was your favorite from Sid and Marty Krofft. All right. So what's 420? It's a celebration of all things marijuana. That's what this 420 means. That's what 420 is. But anyway, which is also today's date. So I find out by accident, I find out the history of the Omni Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia, right? This has to be the craziest story that I have ever read in my life. And this story was pieced together through a bunch of different people. Basically, the principal people who are speaking in this story are real estate developers and people who knew the real estate developers, like friends of the real estate developers and other investors who weren't necessarily in real estate, but they had a lot of money to burn. So they're building this hotel called the Omni International in Atlanta, Georgia. And they're building it in the kind of the shady side of downtown. And as one person put it, near the bus stop, where all the winos are. So they build this beautiful big thing with an arena. There's an arena that looks like a egg carton. Good to see you, Abby. Everyone follow Abby 219. They build this arena for the Atlanta Hawks, right? Was it the Hawks or another team? Anyway, it was so this project was gonna revitalize downtown Atlanta in the shady section, the section where the bus stop is, the section where the winos hang out in, right? All right. So it's 1976, 1977. They're putting this project together, right? Good to see you, Paper Angel. Wisconsin's in the house. Good to see you from Wisconsin. So the developers are designing this project called the Omni International, and they realize that the mall component of the whole center is going to be really bad real estate. It's going to be stuff. It's going to be a massive amount of floor space, massive amount, like over 200,000 square feet of space, with like no windows, with like no views. You're looking at walls, right? So they find that like, man, the mall, we can't build the mall to the size that we want to. We're going to have over 200,000 feet of space that's going to go to waste because we can't really rent it out because it's like a shelf. It's like one way in, one way out, no windows. So what happened was that one of the developers, one of their friends, just happened to know Sid and Marty Croft. And Sid and Marty Croft were in the middle of negotiating rights for their characters at Six Flags amusement parks. Yes, exactly. So they're talking about working with Six Flags in Texas and the other parks to franchise, right? So they're like, whoa, how we could build a whole Sid and Marty Croft amusement park in this unusable mall space area in the Omni International. And Sid and Marty Croft were like, hey, that's a good idea. So then over the course of like not even a year, it was like probably maybe 6 months, 7 months, they get the whole project together. And the rides and the Crystal Carousel and the pinball ride and all that. They're all going to put that into the Omni. So now, fast forward, 1977. Everyone, the Omni International Atlanta has now opened. And right there at the base of it, you have your retail mall with an ice skating rink in Atlanta. There was an ice skating rink. And then you had the world of Sid and Marty Croft off in the back. And they sold it as like a whole day experience. So you go there and you could spend literally the whole day there. And it's for your family. But remember, this is Atlanta, 1977. This is Atlanta near the bus station where all the winos hang out. So unfortunately, Unfortunately, I could imagine, Dave. Unfortunately, the world of Sid and Marty Krofft did not do too well. And it closed after 5 months of operation. They spent all this money, all this marketing, and they were only open for 5 months. And then after that, it closed down. And what is in place of the World and City? Yeah, 5 months. 5 months. So what goes in place of the World and Sid and Marty Krofft? What goes in place of that in the end? The and they're still there today. The headquarters of CNN. So now you know. I read this story. It was such a crazy story. You have the developers, right? And the developers want to do something special and different, and they want to make a statement. They want to make a building that's going to be a catalyst to rebuilding Atlanta. Atlanta in 1977 was not a fun place to be, evidently. And it's nothing like what it is today, especially in the area around the Omni. Right, the Tabernacle also rocks. I loved Atlanta. I visited Atlanta twice. I loved it. I almost got locked in the subway because I didn't realize the subway closed at 11 at night. But it's 5 months, and it's like an urban legend. The World and Sid and Marty Krofft is like an urban legend. It's like this thing where you most likely don't know people who went to it. Like there's very few YouTube videos of people who actually went there, or even more so, actual pictures of the park itself. There's some videos, there's some pictures, but nothing in depth, nothing where you could really pinpoint where stuff is, other than the Crystal Carousel and the pinball ride. And of course, you had the world's longest escalator that took you into the park also. But it was it's such a wacky story of urban development and developers coming together and trying to figure out, hey, we have a bunch of office space that's gonna go, or we have a bunch of retail space that's gonna go to waste. So we gotta fill it up. It's over 200,000 square feet. Everyone follow me to Curiosities, that's right. Thank you so much, Winky. But my favorite line is, what? It's near the bus station where all the winos are? And it's what it was. It was where the winos were. So think about this. You're a family, right? Living in suburban Atlanta, right? And you're thinking about whether you want to go to, you don't know whether you want to go to like Six Flags over Georgia, but you want to take the family somewhere. And here they are billing it as a day-long experience. And it was not a day-long experience. I hear that, yeah. I hear that, Dave. But we're here in Lower Manhattan where it all begins. Woolworth building right there. The building that we're in, the Popper building right there. And of course, off here in the distance, the City Municipal Building and City Hall. It's time for me to go back to work. So I want to wish everyone a fantastic New York day, whether you live here or not. I want you to hug your loved ones. I want you to cherish those moments. Happy Easter, happy Passover, happy any holiday you're celebrating. Happy 420. But have a great New York day, whether you live here or not. Hug your loved ones, cherish those moments, and good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, Mrs. Calabash. Wherever you are. I'll see you guys later, folks. Bye-bye.